From Urban Park in Tuscola, it's high school baseball on DouglasCountyDigest.com. Hello again, everybody. Alan Patton bringing you the play-by-play of this non-conference baseball game between the Tuscola Warriors and the Broncos of Cerro Gordo Bement. Broncos come in with a 15-5 record. They are 8-1 in the Little Okaw Valley Conference. And they'll be leading off with their second baseman, Mason Neasley. He'll be followed by the shortstop, Cole Blickensdorfer. Connor Gross, the pitcher, will bat third. Batting fourth is Chase McNamara, the left fielder. Batting fifth and playing third base is Nate Lovekamp. Batting sixth, the center fielder, Steve Isbell. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, Josh Hayes.
Leading off for the Broncos.
Batting eighth, the first baseman, Sean Reed. And batting ninth is Eaton Morton, the catcher. On the mound for the Tuscola Warriors is right-hander Austin Martin. We're just about ready to get underway. Martin looks in for the sign from his catcher, and the first pitch on the way. It's low and away for a ball. Neasley batting in the 435 vicinity as we enter action this afternoon. Right-hand hitter takes the next pitch for a strike, and the count is even at a ball and a strike. Neasley, Blickensdorfer, and Gross, the first three batters for the Broncos here in the first inning. Next pitch on the way. Ground ball up the middle, taken by the shortstop, Nick Bates. Easy throw over to first.
Grounds out to the shortstop.
And Neasley grounds out 6-3 for the first out
for the Broncos, shortstop
of the ball game. That'll bring up the shortstop, Cole Blickensdorfer. Also a right-hand hitter. Stands back in the box. First pitch by Martin on the way. And that's a called strike. Defensively for Tuscola, they have Cole Evans in left, Gunnar Campbell in center, Jackson McCrory in right. 0-1 pitch on the way, swung on and missed, strike two. And Martin gets ahead of the Broncos' number 2 hitter. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 0-2 pitch on the way. And it's a called strike 3 on the corner.
Blickensdorfer called out on strikes for the second out of the inning.
And there's 2 up and 2 down on the first strikeout
Connor Gross
by Martin. That'll bring up Connor Gross, the pitcher. Gross tops just about every statistical category for the Broncos, batting almost 600 for the season. 5 homers. Here's the pitch. Called strike on the outside corner. Gross also has driven in 33 runs. He's also won 5 games on the mound. Here's the pitch. Chopper foul over by the Tuscola dugout on the third base side. And the count is 0-2. For the Warriors on the infield, it's the Bates brothers on the left side with Zach at third and Nick at short. Tommy Watson, the second baseman, Tucker Robinson at first, Tristan Williams behind the mound. And the 0-2 pitch is outside. And the count's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Gross. Gross will be attending Parkland College next season. Here's another chopper foul over by the Tuscola dugout. It's tracked down by the Warrior coach, Duff Hole. Warriors 17-10 coming into the ball game. We come into the final 2 weeks of the regular season. Martin looks in for the sign from Williams. The 1-2 pitch on the way. Up the middle for a base hit.
Base hit to center field for Connor Gross.
And Gross gets the first base hit of the baseball game.
Time, Blue. You got him time. Courtesy. 1.
And we're going to have a courtesy runner. Frankie Ferran is going to run for.
We have a courtesy runner for pitcher Connor Gross, number 1, Frankie Ferran.
So runner at first. And the batter's Chase McNamara, the left fielder. Right-handed hitter stands deep in the box. From the stretch, the first pitch popped up on the infield. Robinson makes the catch. Runner was going to be called out for interference, so it was going to result in an out either way.
No runs on.
But in the inning for
one left. After one.
Ceragordo Bement, no runs, one hit, no errors, one left. At the end of the first half inning at Ceragordo, nothing, Tuscola coming to bat. To the bottom half of the first inning here at Urban Park in Tuscola, Warriors come to bat. And leading off for Tuscola will be the left fielder, Cole Evans. He'll be followed by the second baseman, Tommy Watson, and the shortstop, Nick Bates. Connor Gross, right-hander on the mound for the Ceragordo Bement Broncos. First pitch by the right-hander is a called strike on the inside corner. As we said, Gross has 5 victories on the season. Has an earned run average of about 1.5. Next pitch is outside for a ball. And he struck out 56 batters so far this season. 1-1 pitch. Taken just a little bit high, and the count is 2-1. Evans, right-hand hitter. Pitch on the way from Gross. Just a little bit high. And the count is 3-1 to the Warrior leadoff batter. Broncos asked for the appeal to the base umpire. He says he did not go around. 3-1 pitch is called strike on the outside corner, and the count is full at 3-2. Cole Evans playing left field. 3-2 pitch on the outside corner for a called strike.
For the first out. Now batting second.
That'll bring up Tommy Watson, the Warriors' second baseman. Watson, right-hand hitter. He leads the Warriors in stolen bases with 19 on the season. Takes the first pitch high for a ball. Left fielder pulled around toward the line. Center fielder straight away. Here's a pitch lined up the middle.
The base hit to center field for Tommy Watson.
And we have 2 hits in the ball game, 1 for each team, and both of them right back through the box.
Nick Bates.
That'll bring up the Warriors shortstop, Nick Bates. Bates batting a shade over 400 on the season, with a couple homers. Bates, left-hand hitter, facing the right-hander, Connor Gross. The pitch, runner going. Here's a fly ball into left field. Left fielder goes back. He can't get to it. Watson round second. He's going to go into third. And standing up at second is Nick Bates.
Second and third. Now batting the designated hitter, Clayton Turner.
So the Warriors have runners in scoring position at second and third. And that'll bring up the designated hitter, Clayton Turner. Turner, right-hand hitter. First pitch just misses for a ball. Turner with 4 homers. 19 runs batted in on the season. Here's a swing and a miss, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Cole Evans led off with a called third strike. Watson singled up the middle. Nick Bates doubled to left center. And we've got a balk called on the pitcher as Watson made a move toward home. The base umpire said his Gross's left knee buckled, and that was considered a move. So Warriors with a run across and a runner at third with 1 out. Here's a pitch. Bouncer foul fielded by Duff Hole down in the third base coach's box. And the count is a ball and 2 strikes to Turner, with Austin Martin in the on-deck circle. The pitch by Gross on the way. Just misses the strike zone, and the count is even at 2-2. Center fielder swung a little bit toward left field, so there's a good sized gap in right center field. And also some room down the right field line as well. Gross looks in for the sign from his catcher. The pitch on the way. Line drive, base hit. That'll score a run. And it gets past the left fielder. Turner's going to round first. He'll go into second base standing up on the base hit and the error by the left fielder.
He moves up to second base on the fielding error.
Ball went under the glove of the CGB left fielder,
Now batting for the
Chase
Warriors,
McNamara.
Austin Martin.
Go ahead, Mark. Come on, man. Mark, your turn. Straight play.
So Turner gets the RBI on the base hit and goes to second on the error by the left fielder. Runner at second, one out. And we'll bring up Austin Martin, the pitcher. First pitch, outside for a ball. Martin's got 4 homers on the season. Had one Friday against Tri-County. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Popped up foul over on the first base side. And the count is even at a ball and a strike. Warriors won 4 out of 5 games last week. They beat Unity, Danville, Schlarman, Fisher, and Tri-County. Lost to Sullivan in conference play. Gross looks in. Now the batter calls time and Martin steps out. Ethan Morton behind the plate, the catcher for SceraGordo1234. Chase McNamara in left, Steve Isbell in center, Jacob Weedman in right. Here's a pitch. Fly ball down the left field line. That is going to curve foul and out of play. And the count is 1-2. Around the infield, Nate Lovecamp is at third. Cole Blickensdorfer is at short. Mason Neasley's playing second. Sean Reed is the first baseman. And the pitcher, Connor Gross. He's got a 1-2 count on his opposite number. Austin Martin with one out here in the bottom of the first inning. Tuscola leading 2-0. The 1-2 pitch on the way, swung on and missed. And we've got interference called. And the base runner is called out.
The interference was called.
Catcher tried to throw the ball down to second base to pick off the runner.
Third out of the inning.
It clipped the batting helmet of Austin Martin, who'd stepped out in front of the plate.
3 base hits.
So Tuscola gets a couple runs in the inning.
After 1 inning, Warriors lead
On 3 hits, there was an error and nobody left. So at the end of our first inning here at Irvin Park in Tuscola, the Warriors lead SceraGordo1234 by a score of 2-0. We move to the top half of the second inning here at Irvin Park in Tuscola. Leading off for the SceraGordo1234 Broncos will be their third baseman, Nate Lovecamp. He'll be followed by the center fielder, Steve Isbell, and the designated hitter, Josh Hayes. Broncos with 1 hit in the ball game against Austin Martin. Tuscola leads at 2-0 after 1 inning. The first pitch is a called strike. And Martin jumps out ahead of the number 5 hitter for the Broncos. Martin with 5 pitching victories on the season. Next pitch is high and outside for a ball. His earned run average just a shade over the 3 mark. Here's a pitch just off the inside corner, and the count is 2-1. Martin with 36 strikeouts coming in. He has 1 in the first inning. And his pitch on the outside corner, and the count is even at 2-2. Steve Isbell on deck, right-hand hitter, Nate Lovecamp leading off for the Broncos. The pitch, line foul down the first base line, and the count holds at 2-2. Broncos in navy blue jerseys, white lettering and numerals trimmed in orange, white pants with a blue stripe. 2-2 pitch on the way from Martin. Popped up on the infield. Tommy Watson gets under it and makes the catch
Pops up to second base for the
first out. here in the top of the second.
Steve Isbell.
That'll bring up Steve Isbell, the center fielder. Isbell, right-handed hitter.
Come on, Stevie.
The number 6 hitter. First pitch from Martin on the way. Just off the corner for a ball.
Stevie. Here we go now.
Steve Isbell waiting for the pitch from Austin Martin. Now he asks for time and steps out.
Strikes now.
Andy Fleener, the coach of the Broncos, standing down in the third base coach's box. Now Isbell back in. Pitch on the way from Martin. Line drive, center field. Gunnar Campbell back there, and he makes the catch.
Isbell flies out to center field.
So there are 2 up and 2 down
That brings to the plate designated hitter
in the
Josh
top of
Hayes.
the second. And it brings up Josh Hayes, the Broncos designated hitter this afternoon.
Hey, time that wiggle, all right?
Left-hand hitter.
Time that wiggle.
Campbell moves over to the right field side of second base. Left fielder playing way off the line. Here's a pitch called strike at the knees on the outside corner for a strike.
Come on now.
A lot of room down the left field line. Pretty good sized gap in right center as well. Here's a pitch lined off the glove of the shortstop. And everybody's safe.
Took a base hit for
Soft
Josh
liner hit between short and third.
Hayes. Batting for the Broncos, first baseman Sean Reed.
Nick Bates had to go to his right. He knocked it down. Couldn't come up with it to make the play. That is an infield hit for Hayes. That'll bring up Sean Reed, the first baseman. Runner at first takes the lead. A stretch by Martin, the pitch on the way. Low for a ball. Hayes with 7 stolen bases on the season. Stretch by Martin. And we've got a balk on Martin.
Hayes goes to second base.
So Hayes goes to second base. And the Broncos have a runner in scoring position. So the balks are even at 1 apiece. Base umpires demonstrating to Martin what he did wrong. So the count 1-0 with a runner at second and 2 out. Here's a pitch low for a ball, and the count is 2-1. First 2 batters popped up. Lovecamp to second. Isbell to center. Hayes reached on an infield hit off the glove of Nick Bates. Went to second on a balk. Here's a pitch. Knocked down by the first baseman. He tosses it to the pitcher covering. And the side is retired. Nice play defensively by Tucker Robinson. Knocked it down, picked it up,
No runs on one
led the
base hit.
pitcher to the bag, and tossed it to him for the out. So the play goes 3-1
2, Broncos nothing.
in the inning for Cerra-Gordo-Bement. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We've played an inning and a half at Irvin Park in Tuscola with the score Tuscola 2, Cerra-Gordo-Bement nothing. To the bottom half of the second inning, with Tuscola leading 2-0 over Cerra-Gordo-Bement. Leading off for Tuscola in the bottom half of inning number 2 will be the catcher Tristan Williams. He'll be followed by the third baseman Zach Bates and the first baseman Tucker Robinson. Williams, right-hand hitter. Gross steps off the rubber, now gets back on, winds and delivers the first pitch of the inning. It's outside for a ball. Williams, right-hand hitter. Next pitch, outside, and the count is 2-0. We talked about Tuscola winning 4 of 5 last week. They only have 3 games this week. Here's a ground ball out to the shortstop. He picks it up, throws to first, and Williams is retired.
Retired with the first out, grounded to short.
On a ground ball to Cole Blickensderfer.
Batting for the Warriors, third baseman Zach Bates.
And that'll bring up Zach Bates, the Warrior third baseman. After today's game, Tuscola closes out their are scheduled for Okaw Valley Conference games at home to Tuesday against Monticello and then Thursday at Warrensburg Latham. Here's a pitch fouled off to behind the plate. And the count is even at a ball and a strike. And then next week, the final week of the regular season, here's a pitch inside for a ball. Tuscola has 5 games on the schedule. 2-1 count, pitch by Gross. Breaking pitch in there for a called strike, and the count is even at 2-2. Next Monday they'll host Paris. Then on Wednesday they play at Salt Fork. Here's a fly ball. Short left center field. Isbell is under it, and he makes the catch for the out.
Bates pops up to the center fielder for the second out of the inning.
2 up and 2 down in the bottom half of the second inning.
First baseman Tucker Robinson.
That'll bring up Tucker Robinson, the first baseman. Robinson hit a pair of home runs Thursday against Fisher, his first homers of the season. There's a strike to the right-handed hitting first baseman. 0-1 pitch by Gross. Just misses inside. After the game against Paris and at Salt Fork, the Warriors host Windsor, Stewarts, and Strasburg. Then play on Friday at Arcola, and then on Saturday the 17th, the Warriors will travel to St. Louis to play the Alton Redbirds at Busch Stadium. 1-2 the count to Robinson. 2 out, the pitch on the way. Fouled back behind the plate. And the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. To the number 8 hitter for the Warriors, Tucker Robinson. And here's a swing and a miss for the third out of the inning. So Warriors go down in order. The third strikeout for Gross. In the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. Score after 2 full innings at Urban Park in Tuscola. It's the Warriors 2, the CeraGordo1234 Broncos nothing. Leading off for the CeraGordo1234 Broncos in the top half of the third inning will be their catcher and number 9 hitter, Ethan Morton. He'll be followed by the top of the batting order, Mason Neasley and Cole Blickensderfer. Austin Martin on the mound for Tuscola. First pitch popped up behind the plate, and that'll go out of play for strike 1. Morton, right-handed hitter. And the 0-1 pitch coming from the right-hander Austin Martin. Hits inside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike to Morton with Neasley on deck. Pitch on the way. Popped up in foul territory on the third base side. Zach Bates over by the fence, and he makes the catch for the first out of the inning.
Territory to the third baseman. That's the first out of the inning.
1 away here in the third, and that'll bring up Mason Neasley. Neasley grounded out to short to lead off the ball game. CeraGordo1234 has had a base runner in each inning. They've had 2 hits, but have not been able to push a run across the plate. Here's a swing and a miss by Neasley for strike 1.
Just gotta meet it. Just gotta meet it.
Pitch by Martin on the way. Fly ball, center field. Campbell takes a couple steps in and makes the catch for out number 2.
Back to center field for the second out of the inning.
2 up, 2 down in the third.
Now batting shortstop Cole Blickensderfer
for the Broncos, and that'll bring up Cole Blickensderfer. He was called out on strikes
Come on, Cole Blick, let's go at 2.
in the first inning. Swings and misses at the first pitch for a strike.
Hey, let it get in there. Let it get in there. Top hand to it. Top hand to it.
Martin looks in for the sign from Tristan Williams. He winds and delivers. Fly ball high to right field. McCrory over towards the line, and he makes the one-handed catch. And SceraGordo1234 goes down in order.
No runs, no hits,
in the top of inning number 3.
We played 2.5.
No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. After 2.5, it's Tuscola 2, SceraGordo1234 nothing. The Tuscola half of the 3rd inning begins with their number 9 hitter, the right fielder Jackson McCrory. He'll be followed by Cole Evans and Tommy Watson. Tuscola with a pair of runs in the bottom half of the 1st. They lead the Broncos by a score of 2-0. McCrory, right-hand hitter, facing the right-hander Connor Gross. First pitch, outside for a ball. Outfield fairly straight away all the way around. Center fielder shading just a little bit toward left. Here's a pitch called strike, and the count is even at a ball and a strike. Next pitch on the way. Called strike 2 on the outside corner. And the count is 1-2. Pitch on the way. Breaking pitch goes in there for a called 3rd strike. And that is the
left fielder Cole Evans.
4th strikeout for Connor Gross. That'll bring up Cole Evans, the left fielder. He was called out on strikes in the 1st. First pitch, inside for a ball. Evans, right-hand hitter. The pitch on the way. Called strike, and the count is even at a ball and a strike. Connor Gross, right-hander, looks in for the sign. Winds and brings home the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and foul tipped. And the count is 1-2. Tuscola with 2 in the 1st. Here's a pitch. Ground ball out to the second baseman. Knocks it down. Throws to first.
Evans grounds out to the second baseman for the 2nd out of the inning.
And there are 2 up and 2 down. That is
now batting second baseman.
6 in a row retired by Gross. Evans grounded it out to Neasley, the second baseman for SceraGordo. He knocked the ball down and made the play at first. Tommy Watson, the batter, and he takes a strike. Watson singled up the middle, went to 3rd on a double by Nick Bates, and scored on a balk in the 1st inning. Pitch by Gross, outside for a ball. Count is even at a ball and a strike. Here's a pitch inside, called strike on the inside corner. And the count is 1-2. Nobody on, 2 out. We're in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. The pitch on the way. Fly ball to right field. Jacob Weedman comes in, and he'll make the catch.
Tommy Watson flies out.
And the Warriors go down in order
for the Warriors.
In the 3rd. No runs, no hits, no errors.
No errors, nobody left.
No errors and nobody left.
2, Broncos nothing.
After 3 innings of play here at Irvin Park in Tuscola, it's still the Warriors 2 and the SceraGordo1234 Broncos nothing. We move to the 4th inning here at Irvin Park. Leading off for the SceraGordo1234 Broncos will be their pitcher, Connor Gross. He'll be followed by Chase McNamara and Nate Lovekamp. Gross got the first hit for the Broncos in the top of the 1st, a line single up the middle. But he was stranded there. First pitch by Austin Martin on the way. Ball high and inside. And the count is 1-0. Here's a pitch outside for a ball, and the count is 2-0. Said earlier, Gross leads in just about every statistical category. The only exception is stolen bases. There's a pitch called, strike on the outside corner. And the count is 2-1. That distinction belongs to Blickensderfer, who has 18 stolen bases on the season. The pitch, another line drive up the middle.
The line drive single to center field for Connor Gross.
That one right back through the box, over the head of Austin Martin.
Chase McNamara.
And Gross has 2 of the Broncos' 3 hits. I'll bring up Chase McNamara, the left fielder. He popped up to the first baseman in the inning, in the first inning we should say. Gross with a short lead at first. Here's a pitch, called strike at the knees. And Martin gets ahead of the number 4 hitter for the Broncos. McNamara with 12 stolen bases on the season. The stretch by Martin, the pitch fouled back into the screen behind home plate. And this count is 0-2. Runner at first, nobody out. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Tuscola leading, Ceragordo will be met 2-0. Here's a pitch called, strike 3.
Strike 3 called for the first out.
And there's 1 out in the inning.
For the Broncos, third baseman Nathan Lovecamp.
That's the second strikeout for Martin. And it brings up Nate Lovecamp, the third baseman. Lovecamp popped out to the second baseman in the second inning. Quick throw down to first. Runner back in time. The pitch was called a strike. Watson playing back at the edge of the grass. Now takes a step or 2 in on the infield dirt. Here's a pitch. Ground ball out to shortstop. Bates knocks it down. Throws to second. And the runner is safe. Everybody's safe for the Broncos.
Putting runners at first and second. Batting for the Broncos, center fielder Steve Isbell.
And that puts runners at first and second with 1 out. And the batter is Steve Isbell. Nick Bates tried to backhand that. He knocked it down, couldn't pick it up to throw to second for the force out. It was late, and everybody's safe. Here's Steve Isbell, the batter. He tries to bunt it. He pops it up down the third base line. Warriors going to let it roll foul, and about a yard in front of the bag, it does just that. Isbell popped it up on the bunt attempt, and it rolled foul eventually just before reaching the bag. And the count is 0-1 to Isbell. Stretched by Martin, look back at the runner at second base, Connor Gross. Here's a pitch fouled off to the third base side. And the count is 0-2. Josh Hayes in the on-deck circle. Martin looks in, bent over at the waist. Here's the pitch. Just misses, slowing away. Warrior fans wanted that one. Home plate umpire says not so fast. 1-2 the count to Isbell. Martin looks back. The throw. The pitch. Ground ball out to short. Bates knocks it down. Throws to second. They get the force this time. On the play, Isbell reaches first.
Lovecamp forced at second base for the second out of the inning.
And on to third goes Connor Gross.
Designated hitter Josh Hayes.
So runners at the corners, 2 outs, and the batter is the DH Josh Hayes. Hayes hit a soft liner that Nick Bates knocked down in the second inning. Tying run on it first. Here's the runner going. Throw down to second. And Watson cuts it off just in front of the bag. And the count 1 ball and no strikes to Hayes. So the tying run moves up 90 feet to second base. Hayes, left-handed hitter. Pitch on the way. Fouled back into the screen. And the count is even at a ball and a strike.
Right on the ball.
Hayes standing about even with the plate, maybe a little bit toward the front of the left-hand batter's box. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Ground ball out to short. It's cut off by Zach Bates. Throw over to first. And the side is retired.
On a ground ball to third base.
Slowly hit ground ball to the left side of the infield.
No runs.
Zach Bates cut in front of his brother
1 error, 2 left.
to field the ball and made the throw over to first for the third out.
Remains. Warriors 2.
No runs
nothing.
for the Broncos. 1 hit, no error, and 2 runners left on base. We're halfway through this ball game, and the score remains Tuscola 2, CeraGordo1234 nothing.
Fourth inning for the Warriors.
Nick Bates leads off the Tuscola half of the 4th inning. He'll be followed by Clayton Turner and Austin Martin. Nick Bates doubled into the gap in left center field in the 1st inning, scored the 2nd Tuscola run. Here's the first pitch by Connor Gross. It's inside and goes back to the screen. Sounded like it clipped somebody's shin guard. Either the catcher or the home plate umpire. 1-0 the count to Bates. Pitch called strike at the letters. And the count is even at a ball and a strike. Bates batting around 400, a little over 400 for the season. Here's a ball popped up over on the left side. And that's going to be out of play behind the Warrior dugout. And the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
1-2.
Gross with a 1-2 count. Brings it home. There's a high fly ball to right field. Right fielder goes back in front of the fence in right center field to make the catch.
Ball to right field for the first out. Now batting designated hitter Clayton Turner.
Bates got that one up in the air, but the right fielder, Jacob Weedman, moved over toward right center to make the catch. And with 1 out, the batter is Clayton Turner. He'll take a called strike on the first pitch. And the next one is high for a ball. 8 batters in a row set down by Turner. Here's a ball and a strike pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 2. And the count is 1-2 to the Warrior designated hitter Clayton Turner. He's batting for the center fielder Gunnar Campbell this afternoon. Pitch, foul tipped back to the screen. And the count holds. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Turner started the week with the exact same average as Nick Bates, 413. Here's a pitch popped up on the first base side, and it's out of play. And the count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody on, 1 out. We're in the bottom half of the 4th inning with Tuscola leading 2-0. Here's a pitch outside. And the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes with the Warrior pitcher Austin Martin on deck. That one just high and outside. Broke toward the outside. Gross wanted that one, and the count is full. 3-2 pitch on the way. Here's a ground ball to the left side. Third baseman has it, throws over to first, and they're 2 up and 2 down.
Fired on a ground ball to the third baseman. That's the 2nd out of the inning. Now
Bronco third baseman Nate Lovekamp picked that one up, made the throw over to first to retire Turner for the 2nd out. And that'll bring up Austin Martin, the pitcher. He went down swinging to end the 1st inning. And also on that play, he stepped in front of the a throw from the catcher trying to retire a base runner. Interference was called. Here's a ground ball out to Blickensderfer at short.
Out to the shortstop.
And for the third inning in a row, Tuscola goes down in order.
No hits, no errors, nobody left.
Zeros across the board, no runs, hits, errors, nobody left. We're at the end of 4 innings with Tuscola leading the Cerro Gordo Broncos by a score of 2-0.